Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Lee Chan here with NBC Sports Bay Area and your Friday update. We have the game status report from Kyle Shanahan, and as expected, Trent Williams is not going to play, and Isaac Guerendo is also out. So two guys out for Sunday's game against the Miami Dolphins. Questionable players: Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bosa, and Robert Beal Jr. Uh, I do think they all play. Robert Beal Jr. apparently got a little nicked up in practice. Um, he didn't say his ankle. It was his ankle that is kind of nicked up, but I think he should play. Most guys that play that are listed as questionable on a Friday do play on a Sunday game. It does help also that the Sunday game starts at 4 p.m. So those are your guys that are questionable. That does mean that Patrick Taylor Jr. will get the start. And as far as, Kyle Shanahan being able to kind of plug him in and just put him in place of where Isaac Guerendo was and where JP Mason was and Elijah Mitchell was and Christian McCaffrey was, this is what Kyle Shanahan had to say. It's like, yeah, he's been here since training camp. He's done a real good job for us, played in this league before. He has experience there at Green Bay, and he's gotten his opportunities with us. He's ran the ball well. And when he hasn't run the ball, he's really helped us on special teams. So big opportunity for him, and we're glad we've got him. So right there, Kyle Shanahan is known for being able to plug and play different running backs, and you saw it before with Matt Breida, Raheem Mostert. I mean, the bevy of guys that were here with the 49ers before Christian McCaffrey arrived. So it's kind of, an expected thing. Although this is their fifth running back of the season. That's pretty crazy. But I do expect him to run well and be able to be set up well. He's not a rookie. He kind of gets the timing. He's been with them for the entire season. Um, I think that's good. It's not, I know people are excited about Israel Abanikanda. Keyshawn Vaughn is a guy who also could get them snaps, but Israel is, from the New York Jets. It takes a little while for guys to adapt to not only Kyle Shanahan's offensive system, but Bobby Turner's coaching. So sometimes it doesn't always work out well. JP Mason, butted heads with Bobby Turner at the beginning. And I think, it obviously worked out for the best in the long run, but it doesn't always work out very quickly. So good thing that Patrick Taylor Jr. has been with the club for a while. So, over the past couple of days, we did speak to George Kittle, and there's a lot of crossover between the Miami Dolphins and the 49ers. So, George Kittle was asked, hey, what are your memories of Mike McDaniel and John Embry? Now, John Embry was George Kittle's first tight ends coach with the 49ers. He was let go, and then he was picked up by the Miami Dolphins, and he's been with Mike McDaniel down there in Miami. And apparently, John Embry still communicates with George Kittle and gives him coaching points and tells him things. Just he says sometimes he's like, I get these text messages at 5 in the morning, you know, Pacific Coast time, and it's 8 a.m. Miami time that says your footwork was trash last week. You need to fix your stance. You got to stand like this. But George Kittle says he always appreciates those coaching points. And on Friday, Kyle Shanahan was asked, is that tampering? Because really, coaches from other teams rarely talk to players from other teams. I mean, everything is secrets, right? They don't want us videoing certain things at practice because that might leak out to another team. It might tip them off about something. Honestly, I think, what we see at practice is really kind of vanilla. Um, Reporters used to be able to sit and watch the entire practice. I think it was Mike Nolan when he was there with the 49ers. Reporters could sit in the bleachers. There were bleachers set up. They could sit and watch the entire practice so they could see the game plan, so they could know what could be coming up. But now that's all changed. It kind of really changed during Harbaugh's era. Reporters get to see the first 4 periods of practice, which is basically calisthenics, individual work. We never get to see 11 on 11s. Never. And training camp, yes. But once training camp ends and it's week one, we do not get to see 11 on 11s at all. It's really a bummer because you don't get to see who's playing well. And I would, as a reporter, would love to watch it, even if I had to turn on my phone, if I had to put my notebook down, just to be able to sit and watch 11 on 11 practice, I think is so educational for what we do to learn how players are working with each other, kind of learn the dynamics, watch the chemistry between quarterback and receivers, and that means tight ends, running backs, etc., how the defensive line is working together, all of those things. I think it helps us do our job better, but it's just not allowed by the 49ers anymore. And I don't think too many other teams, if there are any, that allow reporters to watch the entire practice session. So that being said, Kyle Shanahan said, no, it's not tampering for John Embry to talk to George Kittle, especially if it's coaching points. He said, he's like, if they were in our division, I'd say yes. Shanahan just kind of joked, and he said, I'd try to get back at them. He said he loves John. He loves John sending those texts. He says, I've got no problem with him, especially if it helps guys like Kittle get better. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing when you look at George Kittle's career because back in Iowa, he was not a receiving tight end at all. He had, let's see here, I remember 48 receptions for 737 yards in 4 years. Again, that's 48 receptions. That's an average of 12 catches a year, 737 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So that was over 4 years at Iowa. And now George Kittle notched his 19th 100-yard game versus the Chicago Bears, ranks third behind only Terrell Owens and Jerry Rice. So John Embry was there for George Kittle's first 100-yard game, which came at the very last week of his rookie season. That was in 2017. He caught four of his six targets for 100 yards even. That was his first 100-yard receiving game, and now he has 19. It's pretty cool. So John Embry was very influential in George Kittle's path and his mentality. Obviously, George Kittle has a very strong family life. He's very close to his dad, who is also his coach, and his entire family. So, just kind of fun little tidbits from George this week and how he developed. And, really, George Kittle, definitely on track to be a Hall of Fame tight end, which is pretty incredible when you think that he was drafted in the fifth round. All right. I'll try to do another update for you tomorrow, which is Saturday, traveling to Miami on a red eye. I don't know why I did that to myself. But anyways, it's your Friday update. And if you are out in Miami, it's 43% faithful in the stadium is what it's supposed to be. So I'll see a lot of you out there. Please say hello, yell, scream, and I'll come say hi. All right. Hope you guys are well. And if you're traveling to Miami, safe travels if you already live there. We'll see you soon. It's a homecoming for Ricky Pearsall, who played at Florida, and of course, Nick Bosa, who is from out there or lives out there. All right, you guys, talk to you soon.